So we've established that mobility isn't just about being stretchy, right? It's about having the strength to own your ranges of motion. If you have extreme flexibility, but you have like no muscular control, you've essentially just created an unstable joint, which itself is a recipe for potential injury. True mobility is the marriage of range and control. So today we're moving from the systems check of cars to the heavy lifting of mobility. And we do that with end range isometrics, which are applied as progressive and regressive angular isometric loading, or pails and rails protocol within this kit. So what is an isometric contraction? Let's start there. Well, simply put, it's a muscle contraction where the muscle length doesn't change. So for reference, a concentric contraction involves a muscle to shorten. Eccentric contractions require a muscle to lengthen, but isometrics, they hold steady in place, like you're holding a heavy object, just holding it in place as long as you can. So why are these the gold standard for mobility? Well, it's because they allow us to produce really high levels of tension without the shearing forces that come with movement. So we are able to create massive internal force safely, allowing us to really reprogram the joint capsule and those surrounding tissues. Now, when we perform these at end ranges, we are accomplishing three critical objectives. The first is attaining granular specificity. You see, by training at the end range, we are strengthening the tissues specifically where they're the most vulnerable. This doesn't just improve your stretching capacity, it actually improves your strength throughout your entire range of motion. Also, tissue remodeling. We talk about fibroblasts in the stretching biology lesson. You see, those cells are the ones that build up and maintain your connective tissue. And by applying sustained maximal tension through isometrics, we are physically deforming those cells and triggering them to synthesize those new collagen fibers. We are literally building a more resilient and elastic joint architecture. And another is the neuromuscular safety signaling. This is probably the most important piece. So by ramping up your effort, you are sending a high intensity signal to your brain. You're telling your nervous system, I'm strong here, I'm safe here, and I have control here. You see, this rapidly enhances your neuromuscular drive and essentially opens up your access to muscle fibers that you previously didn't have access to because your brain was locking down that range of motion just to keep you safe. So here's the protocol. Think, find, flex, flip. And this is what that is going to look like in practice. First is find. This is you getting into a end range position, like the hip 90-90, for example. And you're going to hold that position for several minutes, typically no less than 2 minutes at a time. We want uninterrupted tension. Why? Because this allows the nervous system to calm down and allows the tissues to begin that adaptive process. Then comes flex. This is the pails component. This is where you contract the tissues that are currently being stretched. You're going to start light, ramp up from that light effort to your safest maximal contraction over the span of about 10 to 15 seconds, and then hold it at that high level contraction for a grand total of about 60 seconds. With this, you are teaching your brain that you own this new length. Then we flip it to the rails component. So this is where your effort goes to the opposite side of the joint. Imagine now that you're actively pulling yourself deeper into the stretch using your own muscles. Again, you're going to ramp up from a light effort to a really high one over that same course, about 10 seconds, and you're going to hold it there for a grand total of about 30. So by finding, flexing, and flipping, you're providing your nervous system, you're proving to your nervous system that you not only have that range of motion, but you also control it. And the result here is that we turn a passive stretch into true tissue adaptation. You see, this isn't just an exercise, it's a high-level conversation with your nervous system and your connective tissues. So you really have to keep this focused, keep it intense, and it can really help you build a joint that is truly built for life.